What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Relentless Fit 365 YouTube Live, where basically what you're saying is, and you see it in the links below, everything that you're eating is wrong. And that's the discussion we're going to talk about today in our nutrition discussion. And good luck with everybody on that. I'm just kidding. You know, that's the bottom line with nutrition is, you know, especially when it comes to diets. What is going on here? What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Relentless. Whoops. I should have thought that one through. Anyway, that's what usually people go through when they start a diet. People kind of put it out there and say, this is the right way. My way is the right way. His way is the wrong way. What you're doing is wrong. And all of a sudden you can have this, but you can't have that. Keep this away, but eat more of that. Oh, you can have a lot of carbs. You can't have a lot of carbs, so on and so forth. But that is not the answer to living a healthier and happier life. And that's kind of the point. That's what we're looking for here is, you know, what does it take to live a sustainable, long-term lifestyle of health and fitness and still being happy, still being able to enjoy yourself. Now, I'm not saying that I'm against diets. I'm not saying that I'm against good nutrition because I'm a big fan of good nutrition. I constantly talk about it. I constantly preach about it. I constantly say eat healthy. But what is healthy? You know, that's the question. And I'm going to focus on a few comments that I received in the past discussion we had last week, people asking about certain things when it comes to their nutrition. One of them was intermittent fasting, you know, and I get that question a lot actually. What do you think of intermittent fasting? What do you think of fasting? Is it healthy? Is it something that you would recommend, you know, for your clients? The truth of the matter is fasting in general does have a lot of health benefits. Now, what you have to understand also with fasting is that it isn't a diet. Fasting is more of a lifestyle. Fasting is more of you know something that you take a part of, but it isn't really pushing nutrition per se. What I mean by that is you can fast, but then when you're eating, you can eat a bunch of junk, and now you kind of defeated the purpose. Now, one thing about intermittent fasting that I do like, there's the Lean Gains version of intermittent fasting where it talks about the lifestyles of it and living a healthier lifestyle in intermittent fasting. I like that because you develop a habit. And if those of you who are not familiar with what intermittent fasting is, I'm giving you a version of it. And that version is basically something that's clean, dry down the board of 8 hours. There's a window of 8 hours that you can eat. And then there's a window of 16 hours that you cannot take in calories. And it's every day, it's the same way. Now, I understand there's different versions of this type of fasting, but that's the one I particularly like because if you're going to do it, develop a habit that goes around your particular life where it's like, okay, within these 8 hours I could take in this many calories and it's good to go. And your body tends to adapt, and there is health benefits, like I said, to fasting. A lot of times, and I'll give you an example, last year when I was training for something that was coming up, fasting is not what I did like a detox. I do my own version of detox, and someday I'll talk to you about it, but it's along the lines of things like this, juicing and fasting and liquid diets and things like that. And I did it for 3 days. And what it does is more than just the detox and cleaning out your system, which it does do that. For me, it was a mental switch. Like, I'm going from here and now I know I'm going to take it up a notch. And I liked it for that. One of the big problems that I find in intermittent fasting is it doesn't necessarily fit in. It's not always conducive with everybody's schedule. So you have to look at that. Like in these 8 hours, are you going to be working the majority of them where you're going to get one meal and you're actually living off of one meal a day, 7 days a week? I just don't think that's the healthiest answer. That's intermittent fasting. If you have any questions on that, definitely leave that in the comment section below. Let's take a look at everyone, see how we're doing here. Going into the live version. Hope everyone's doing well. Appreciated the discussion last week, but like I said, this week is going to be mostly focusing on nutrition, focusing on health and where that lies. And my writing below when I was talking about, you know, people just what they're doing is they're saying this is good, this is bad, and you get bombarded with all this information, and before you realize it, you're like, you don't know what's good. So I do want to touch on a lot of that. Give me 1 second here. just kind of getting through the details of what's going on with this live version. Because I don't see you guys showing up. Do 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 do. Where is Jake? I don't know. What's going on, Jake? Okay. All right, we're back on here. That's it. Sorry about the technical difficulties. My screensaver started to like do the spinny thing, and then I couldn't find what was going on. Charlotte and Ryan, how you guys doing? Happy Good Friday to you too. Paprika's there. I'm here, Pinecone. Hi, Dana. Hello from Regina. Hi, guys. Okay, everyone's popping up. I don't know if the first 5 minutes that I just talked actually went through. So I apologize if that's the case. Now I'm finally getting some feed there. So it's good to see you guys. It'd be hard to have a discussion if you're just listening to me talk the entire time. I did give a brief brush stroke of what intermittent fasting was. Hi, Angela. Rich is here. Howdy, buddy. So we'll take comments as they come. I'll try to answer them as we go, and I do have a particular agenda of what I want to discuss. Intermittent fasting was one of them. If you are doing it, just keep that in mind that it's more of a lifestyle decision. Think of it as a lifestyle decision, not necessarily as a diet or some sort of like nutritional benefit per se, unless you're adding better nutrition with it. Okay, so getting off intermittent fasting, some of these diets, I get a lot of questions regarding low carb diets. That's always the popular thing. Low carb diets, they work. I mean, let's call it for what it is. They work for the short term. The problem with low carb diets, and the most part, I feel like as a whole, the group of people, if I were to have 100 people in a group of audience, how many of these people will live on a low carb diet in a sustainable fashion for the next 10 years? I would venture to guess the majority, 60% or more, would fail on the low carb diet. And yeah, you could probably argue, you could say that about any diet, and that's my point. That's the problem with diets. They're a short-term process to getting to a bigger and more better solution of living a healthier life. Now, if you're on a diet, I'm not knocking that diet, and I'm not suggesting your diet doesn't work. I think it does. What you have to realize is eventually you're going to have to get to something that's a little bit more sustainable in your life, and something that long-term is going to keep that health, that fitness, that nutrition, and that lifestyle of all that energy that you have going. And some of these low-carb diets, while it is true you can learn to burn, get energy through fat and things of that nature, and that's actually how you should basically get your energy. If you're eating leaner, whole, nutritious foods, you're going to get that anyway. My point is, and this is true, if you're living your life 90 to 95% of your week in a healthy manner, where you're literally having, lean meats or lean proteins, veggies, drinking a bunch of water. I mean, literally, probably the bulk of what you're drinking is water. You can afford, if you're still working out at least 3 times a week and doing it consistently, you can afford to enjoy some of those foods that most people are like, don't do it. You're gonna die from cancer. No, you're not. I mean, come on, we have to enjoy life. And that's my point, is that if one thing's bad, they're all bad. And the truth is, if you do things in moderation, you're gonna be okay. Don't beat yourself up with nutrition. And that's the biggest thing I wanna talk about. I'm gonna pause for a second, say hello to some newcomers that came in, and then we'll get started on my next point. And my next topic basically is going to focus on what I usually tell a client when they first come in. And it's true. I tell them to basically not worry about nutrition. We'll get to that in a second. Your thoughts on keto? Yeah. That was a question last week. And the keto diet is basically a lower carb diet. I'm not extremely familiar with it, but I know it falls into the low carb diet process, where you're taking on higher proteins. And somebody correct me if I'm wrong and if I'm off on that. And I did just express that. The low carb, it works, but is it sustainable? And if it's sustainable for you, then it works for your lifestyle. I don't always preach that because I know how oftentimes people fail, that they lose their energy and they tend to beat themselves up, and at some point it has a counter effect on them. But it does work, and I'm not against it. Some of the low carb things are good for short periods of time, and I'm a fan of that for a short period of time. Long period, you have to decide within yourself if it's something, and I mean that sincerely. Look at your own life and say, is this something that I can do for the next 10 years? And if you're happy with that, then then it's probably something that you're going to enjoy, something that's going to be good for you. It's pretty healthy from what I know about it. It preaches the same thing that I often do, leaner meats, leaner proteins in general if you're not a meat eater, veggies, things that you put on your plate that you can pronounce, usually one ingredient type foods, broccoli, spinach, kale, these are all good stuff. And if it puts that on your plate, it's always good to go. So that's I hope that helps a little bit. I hope you don't think I dodged that question. Do I eat dairy, or do I take in dairy, nuts, and things of that nature? Caffeine. So I don't do a lot of dairy, just my own preference. I just don't feel like I have a low calcium intake. Actually, I know I don't. I don't drink milk, and that started when I did about 5 years ago. I was really big into paleo. So protein went up, carbs went down. I started to, and paleo is a different outlook on it. Like, it wasn't necessarily against carbs. It was like push in more protein. And I did a lot of paleo when I started doing adventure races and long distance races. So that kind of rubbed off, and I felt so much better when I didn't drink milk. So I made the majority of it water, and I haven't really had milk since. I suppose occasionally I'll have almond milk, a little bit different, I guess, than, dairy and things like that. Sometimes I'll take in cheese, sometimes I'll eat pizza. Like I said, there's that other 5%. Enjoy yourself, guys. You have to. It's Friday. If you had a good week, go enjoy yourself. Eat healthy, train hard, and have fun. You're not going to have fun. Let's be real. We're not going to have fun by getting a bowl of kale and going to the movies. Nobody does that. Okay, sometimes people do that. But very seldom. And if you have a craving for something and it's time to have fun, have fun. That's my point. And you also ask about caffeine. I do. I drink coffee. I don't drink it I don't drink a lot. I will say I love coffee. The downfall is I feel like I've become like a coffee snob, so I only drink certain coffee, and some days I don't even drink coffee. So it all depends. But I don't think it's a bad thing. I think there's a lot of health benefits in caffeine, and there's a lot of benefits in not drinking caffeine as well. I've gone weeks without having caffeine and also felt just as good. I personally like the taste and the smell in the morning, so that's probably why I drink it. So there's that to answer that question. I think I passed a few up, and I apologize for it. I'll try to scroll down here. And like I said, we're getting to the next point. The next point, what I usually say about clients and nutrition, and the big kicker, and I think some of you probably know, there is one thing that I challenge clients with when it comes to nutrition. So just keep that in mind. Okay, the fasting is interesting. I've set parameters before where I eat 3 meals a day and some snacks, but nothing say past 5 p.m. Yeah, that's Jen. Jen, thank you for your comment. And that's true. That fasting has certain parameters, like you said, where it blocks off. The one thing I know about the particular intermittent fasting program that I was talking about, it was like you have 8 hours, and 8 hours in your day you can take in your amount of calories of whatever they are, and then there's 16 hours where you don't take in any calories, and then what happens is you usually don't have that much time to take in the same amount of calories you used to take in when you had 24-hour period where it really didn't matter, and thus people started to take it as a weight loss program, and that's okay. Just be careful with it, because if it turns into that, people will start to really reduce their calories to an unhealthy manner, and more problems can arise from that. So good comment, thank you. Fit Soul, hello, good to see you, Fit Soul. Let's see. I talked on keto, the dairy, the nuts. My thoughts on veganism. Rachel, that's a good question. I think veganism is a wonderful, sustainable lifestyle. I know several people that are on it. I tried it for 2 weeks and royally failed at it, Rachel. So you could tease me all you want, and I deserve it. But I will say there are a lot of benefits to veganism. I think my problem with it is I don't like a lot of restrictions when it comes to my nutrition. I feel like if my body craves something, then and it's not unhealthy, you know, I feel like that's something that I am going to go for. That was the same problem I had with paleo. I think probably the healthiest for me, if I were to go to one side extreme, it would probably be vegetarianism, but I would have a hard time skipping the meat. And people who know me know that, yeah, he's not gonna skip the meat. So, but I think it's a very sustainable nutritional lifestyle. Don't look at veganism as a diet, and I get a little upset when I see some of these other lifestyles that, you know, they'll coin them in with diets, and I don't look at veganism as a diet. Sometimes it's a moral decision, sometimes it's a nutritional decision, but I do think it's something that is a sustainable lifestyle. And people who follow me, I know some of them are vegans. You could chime up below and let them know how long you've been vegan, what it's done for you, how it made you feel, how your cholesterol levels dropped, how you started to get more energy. Believe it or not, people don't realize that veganism does give you a lot of energy. So you guys can chime up and tell them about your thoughts on that. So I actually love it. If you have checked out my website, you will see I do have a lot of vegan meals. People who are vegans probably don't like it, which puts me to a segue, not to promote my website, but to say, hey, if you have recipes as vegans that you enjoy and you want to see them on the website and they're your personal recipes, send me a message or send me an email. I will leave your name under it. I'll give you credit for it, but we'll put it up on the website, and basically your favorite dish will be on there. And that goes for any nutritional any of the nutrition recipes that fall into those categories: veganism, paleo, and vegetarianism. All right, let's move on. Going down to the questions. Guys, you guys are like sharks aggressive. I love it. I fuel from your energy, so it must be the Friday happiness that we all get. By the way, happy Good Friday, and happy Friday in general. Let's see. Personally, I'm a vegan. I follow a high-carb, low-fat lifestyle. I truly believe this is a very great way to have optimal health, and you can sustain through your life. And I absolutely agree, and I think I did agree with you. So keep up the good work. A lot of dedication for that particular lifestyle, and I do respect it. Keep it up. Good example. Let's see. Moderation, yes. Eat healthy on the regular, and you can enjoy something non-nutritive once in a while. Had a chocolate donut with my coffee today. Really, Paprika? I call her Paprika because of red, fiery hair. Good for you, and that's the point. Enjoy life on certain things. You can earn it. You've been in the gym. You have that ability to be able to earn it. Please don't do low carb. Carbs are what your body uses for energy. Yeah, I agree that the low carb is one of the reasons I don't consider paleo sustainable. I'm not against paleo. I think when I trained for events, whatever it was I did, paleo is what I usually turn to because I do require higher amounts of calories, and I reach for those calories via protein in a lot of cases. But it's not sustainable. I can't live on a low carb diet. That's just me. And somebody is going to correct me and say it's sustainable for them. They've been doing it for years, and if that's the case, congratulations. And keep up the good work. But as a group, as a big multitude of people, I just don't know if that's something I want to push to everybody, because I know a lot of times people reach for that. I think we overconsume carbs. I think that's the biggest problem. I don't think carbs are bad for us, though. All right, let's move on. I'll get back to some of these other comments, and guys, I appreciate it. I'll try to get your comment. If I miss it, I apologize. But thank you. Keep coming in. I read them afterwards, and then if I missed it, I will try to answer it next week, and there will be next week. I will be taking on live discussions on Friday from this point forward, and we'll see how it goes. This is going to be the time we're probably going to do it. It's the best time for me, so hopefully it works for you. Oh, by the way, received a package, just kind of an offshoot here. Received a package a couple days ago. So at the end of the video, I'm going to open this up, and we're gonna see what's in there. Something, hopefully it's not like anthrax or anything. Some of you probably don't even know what anthrax is. I was kidding anyway. All right, next topic is what I usually recommend to clients when they first start. If you're a beginner and you just started doing my workouts or just doing workouts in general, maybe you haven't done mine yet, but you're new to the fitness idea, and suddenly here you are, you're bombarded with burpees and push-ups and what's HIIT and strength training and time under tension and hypertrophy training and myofascial release and all this stuff that is eating up at your brain, and then suddenly it's like, oh yeah, by the way, you can't drink this, you can't eat that, you can't take this, get this out of the way, you're doing that wrong, you're doing this wrong, and everything just starts to stress you out. It's one of the reasons when I take a new client down, especially if I know that they're a beginner and they tell me I haven't worked out in like 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, or this is the first time I've ever worked out, don't worry about the nutrition right now. And I mean that sincerely, because it's going to be the best move you do for your first 30 days. The reason why is you're already trying to change habits of when do I start working out? What time do I do it? Because if you're going to worry about anything, it's like, if I'm going to do my workouts, I'm going to do it at 6 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday without fail. And that's what I want you to basically tackle first. Get into a habit of fitness. If you get into a habit of fitness, the nutrition will fall into place. Take it from me. I've lived fitness. I've been in the world of fitness or working out or this industry for years. And one of the biggest problems is people sit down and they want to tackle everything. Sometimes it works. Most of the time people just stress out. And what happens when people who aren't used to fitness stress out? They eat more. They end up going to the comfort foods. They have breakdowns. They start low carb diets. All of a sudden it's like my energy is just dead, and now I'm reaching for the sugars, I'm reaching for the fat and the saltier foods, the higher fat, the higher carbs, because I want to feel good again. And then guess what happens? You eat poorly, and then you turn to fitness and you say, this isn't working. And so basically it has this cycle effect. Like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Get rid of the nutrition right now. Don't even think about it. And get into a habit for 30 days of working out on this time, at this time, at this time, consistently for at least 3 days a week. If you do that for 30 days, then we'll start talking about what's on your plate. But until then, that's my challenge. So Jake, I could still have my donuts and coffee and morning snacks. Look, I'm not going to support it, but yes. I'm not saying it's the healthiest thing for you, but if that's what helps you get on the floor and do burpees and complete 20-minute workouts and get used to your heart rate spiking up and dropping down and improving your VO2 max, your heart sustainable level, your heart fitness levels, then have at it. I mean that sincerely. Eat the pizza. I don't care. Work out. And then we'll talk about the next 30 days and we'll start saying, hey, okay, what's on the plate? All right, so you have a lot of starch on your plate. Then we start adding things. I never take anything away. Why do that? Why take away some of the things you enjoy? Just the goal is to kind of corner it out and make it less. So you like a starchier thing here, that's fine. Put it in the corner, eat it last. Okay, that's your bonus of eating all the broccoli that's on the plate first. But we add things at that point. I never like to take away, because I feel like this is my confidence in fitness. I feel like fitness will do the job in correcting the nutrition. Does it always work? No. But if you're a beginner, I do not want to stress you out with fitness and nutrition, because the first thing to get affected is going to be your health. You're going to stress yourself out, and before you know it, all these things that you're changing, all the lifestyle changes, it's like, it's not worth it anymore, because you're going to end up hitting a wall, and when you hit that wall, you become exhausted, and you look in the mirror and you're like, man, I still think I'm fat. That's a bigger problem by itself. I just want you to feel better, and fitness does a great job of doing that by itself, and then nutrition will start to fall into place. I hope that makes sense. If you guys have any comments about that, type it down below. I ate a whole pizza today and they charged me twice. Less calories, I guess. Okay, random thought. Good job, Dana, for eating your entire Friday pizza, and you earned it because I know you work out a lot. So again, enjoying your cheat meals. And I don't like calling them cheat meals. You're rewarding yourself. If you're in fitness, you're rewarding yourself with the things that you enjoy. And if food happens to be one of them, and you've basically, like I said, you've kept it clean, you've kept it 90% healthy, there you go. You've earned the right to enjoy it. And you won't feel bad afterwards because you know you've now found the lifestyle that's sustainable for you and still healthy. All right. More fats, or organic meats, some veggies, no fruit. Love it. Yeah, I absolutely agree. That's a good suggestion. And keep it lean. Always keep it lean. Every time I cheat, my stomach hurt or I feel ill. Yeah, okay, so Vanessa brings up a good point. Sometimes when you are eating lean, you go back to that sweetness, that sugar. Sugar does it. Sugar and carbs in general are really like a proponent of this feeling. And if you're eating clean, your body's not going to react the same way. And you're kind of getting ahead of it, Vanessa, but I appreciate you bringing this up because that's the point. When you do start getting into that lifestyle, your taste buds start to change. Your body starts to react to different fuel, and then all of a sudden, what you used to consider a cheat has now become something that you don't even have a craving for anymore. Now, Vanessa, you'll be surprised to know that not everybody goes through that. Like, they're thrilled to enjoy the unhealthy things. But if you find yourself not liking that, stop cheating. Your body is saying, I don't want this anymore. Your body is saying, I want the veggies, I want the lean proteins, I want the good food, I want the water. So don't cheat anymore. Don't think you have to cheat too. I mean, your body's now happier as of a result of eating cleaner. So thank you for that comment, and it's definitely true. Wine, again, you're enjoying yourself, right? I mean, it goes for anything in moderation. Be careful of what you're over-consuming. Be careful of what is taking over your life, or perhaps changing your life in an unhealthy manner. But what I was talking about here was taking away none of the nutrition. None of the nutrition to the first 30 days. It is about fitness. Can you get up to 3 days a week on a consistent basis, same time every day, making it a part of your habit? And if you make fitness your habit, like I said, the nutrition isn't the most important thing all the time. We work on that down the road, but it really shouldn't fall in the same place on day one. It really isn't the same thing. Kyla just finished work. That's awesome. Coming off of work and coming here, welcome. I'm glad you're off of work. Hope you have a good weekend. Angela, do I take any supplements? I know I talked about this last week. I don't. I'm not against them, and I do think supplements have their place, but keep in mind of what they are. They're a supplementation to always having the nutrition. So if you have gaps in your nutrition, then the supplement is good to fit into those gaps. Sometimes, not always, a very strict vegan doesn't need supplements, but if you don't have time to really focus on protein, veganism could be, it could be possible that you're low in protein, and sometimes extra protein is needed. Not in every case, though I could prove to you that there are vegans who don't take supplements as well and still feel great and live healthy. But I'm not against them either, as long as they're used right. I will tell you what I'm not a proponent of is like pre-workouts, high caffeinated, accelerated things that give you a ton of energy for your workout and then make you feel like a complete worthless sloth afterwards. Not to knock sloths, everybody knows I love sloths, but human sloth, the human kind. I'm not a big fan of those things. If it's overcharging your body with vitamins that really aren't necessary, then I start having a problem with it. But otherwise, they're great stuff. Jen also talks about, I think the beauty in that, despite how similar our bodies are, they all function better on different ratios of types of fuel that we can feed it. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I have a hard time pushing a specific lifestyle. I used to do that. I'm gonna give myself up for a moment, because 5 years ago I felt great on paleo, and I pushed it on clients, like, this is the way you need to eat, this is the way it needs to be. And paleo is the reason last year I wound up in the hospital, dehydrated, low sodium. Paleo, I believe an extreme version of paleo did that to me. So I don't push that because bodies react differently. My body tends to need more carbs. I burn them off. I don't sleep a lot. I put in long hours and on my feet a lot, burning a lot of energy. I work out a lot, so I do need a lot of those carbs, and paleo just didn't do it for me unless I'm gonna have like chicken every hour and a half. And that wasn't sustainable for me. I look at things, if they're sustainable, it's something that I want to do, but if it's not sustainable, I'm not really that interested in it. So here's the challenge. So what do I do when a client sits down and they're like, okay, so I don't change nutrition, but there was a challenge you said you wanted to do once they got the fitness down, then what? Actually, on day one thing I do try to get them to do is, here's your challenge for the next 30 days. Someone asked me about wine, so try this out. And someone's gonna wanna punch me through the camera, but punch me through the screen, but hey, this is the challenge. In the next 30 days, try to drink only water. Period. Try to drink only water. And it's like, what? That's not sustainable. And I will tell you that it is sustainable. Our body actually only needs water. Now, some people like the liquids, they like taking in liquid calories. A lot of the supplements, it's all about liquid calories. I'm just talking the first 30 days. There is a method behind it. There's a reason why I want you to drink just water. I want your taste buds to stop craving the sugary drinks. Now, I know a lot of you probably don't drink sugary drinks, but if you do, your body's gonna constantly crave it. And trust me, this challenge is difficult. If you drink only water for 30 days and you used to drink sodas, you used to drink even fruit drinks, you'd be surprised on how many calories you would save by just drinking water alone. And that's one of the reasons I give those challenges. It's like, I can eat everything else, just drink water? Yeah. That's the challenge for 30 days. So if you're a beginner, that's what I'm gonna challenge to you is, don't worry so much about nutrition. Ask me a ton of nutrition questions. Ask me things that pertain to what you eat, what you put on your plate. If I don't know the answer, I'll say I don't know, and I'll research it and I'll get back to you, or I'll ask somebody else who might know better than me. But we will talk it. I just don't want you to get stressed out about it, because when you get stressed out about it, it affects your fitness on the floor. And when I have clients come in, I want them to come in with energy and excitement, and that's not always going to happen. But if you're lacking energy from your nutrition, it's going to be a lot harder to get down, especially if you're new, and do some of the body weight things, and certainly HIIT training, well, even strength training. You start to lose that strength, and it discourages people. So try water. You'd be surprised. You fill yourself with water and energy does spike, and people are like, wow, I feel better. You pee a lot more. Okay, big deal. So you do, but your body, you get used to that as well. So any questions on that? Man, I'm already past my time almost, or actually I am past my time. I'll take a few more questions if you guys have any. I'm gonna open this package as promised, and then we'll talk about next week. I will see you guys probably same time, not probably, I will see you same time, same channel, and we're gonna dive into something that works with nutrition and fitness together. I don't wanna bombard just nutrition, because especially if you're a beginner, I want you to focus on your plan and fitness. Okay, here we go. What is the importance of sugar? I just lost that one. What is the importance of sugar? Is it good or bad? Okay. So sugar isn't bad for you as long as it's not refined sugar. So if you're eating donuts, if you're eating candy, if you're eating cake and cookies, and that's going to tend to store. And that's where a lot of people start to have that after effect of what sugar does to you. Sugar and fruits are not bad. I would even argue that cane sugar, if you take that in moderation, if you put cane sugar in your coffee, or you put cane sugar to maybe sweeten something up that you're having a hard time with, that's just keep it in moderation, but be careful with that as well. If you crave sugar, my suggestion would be to turn to fruit. I usually say eat an apple. People crucify bananas lately, and I don't get it. Bananas are good for you. Keep eating bananas. They're fine. Everything I look about bananas still have a lot of health benefits. When people are talking about working out, bananas are great before and after a workout. I used to eat a banana before I went for a run, and sometimes I would eat a banana after a workout. If you guys have seen the rumors about how bananas are just toxic, I haven't seen the real proven science in that, and keep eating them. They're good for you. There's a reason why monkeys are so strong. Come on. But yeah, fruit. I would reach for fruit. I do think to all that jibber jabber that I just gave you, I think the final answer I'd give you on that one is that keep sugar really in moderation. Try to stay away from refined sugar, because it really does. It leads to crashes, and that's usually where the biggest cause of weight gain is through refined sugars. I hope that answered your question. Moving on. All right, let's see. I think I skipped one. I'm trying to scroll down here in a different way so I can answer your questions better. I did it through the phone last time. I'm going through my laptop today. Let's see. My question is, for years I can never eat breakfast before work as every morning I feel sick until around 11 a.m. Then I'm starving. Is there anything I can do to help this problem? Yeah, go for something lighter. Try. This is where a lot of people disagree with me on the carbs or whatever, but I do think in the morning you need some sort of energy to start your day. Don't just have coffee and start your day. This is coming from somebody like, I'll eat breakfast and then I'll eat another breakfast. I mean, I'm up at sometimes 3:30 a.m. and then I'm eating breakfast right away, and then I'll eat again, after I train my first batch of groups. So I'm a big proponent of breakfast, and I would think you should try not to skip it. So my recommendation is, if you can handle like maybe a piece of toast, if you can handle some sort of bread, and even worst case, I would even say, grab some seeds or nuts, but something to put into your body to start your day. Actually, the morning is a great time, in my opinion, to basically take in the carbs. And I say my opinion because this is based on things that I've done for my life to give me the energy to go through. I love oatmeal. It's one of the reasons oatmeal actually is, and my UK buddies would call it porridge. It is basically the reason why I gave up paleo. I love it too much, and I know oatmeal tends to be really heavy on your stomach, so Kyla, that might not be the best answer, but find something leaner. And I know I just talked about bananas, but any fruit would be good. Something to give you calories to get you to lunchtime, because then, yeah, you are starving. And when you're really hungry, that's usually when you crave the carbs the most, and you reach for the things that are easier and less healthy for you. And it tends to be something that's going to be the proponent of weight gain in many cases, or just making you sluggish. So hope that answered your question. And in some cases, breakfast is a training as well. Get into a habit of constantly eating breakfast. That's just, you have the entire day. Your body will start to react. It will start to get better at that. But when you get used to not eating breakfast, your body's gonna be like, no, I'm not used to this. I wake up and my body's like, where's the food? So maybe I'm not a good example because I eat constantly. All right, as promised, let's open this package up and let's see what's in here. And by the way, I want to thank R&K Baguio. I'm not sure, R&K Baguio. And I don't know, well, I think I know who someone else speak English much. I kind of think I know who sent this. Let's see open it up. It looks like a floor mat. Oh, here's a card here. There's a couple of cards here. Let's read this one first, because I think this is a part of the circulator. Let's see if you can see that. Circulator. Get a better angle on that. Can you read that? So this is a footreflexologymassagemat.com. Thank you, Robert Baggio, for this. It's a foot massager. Hold on for a second. Foot massager. I'm on my feet all day. Let's just put that. Oh. All right, that's nice. I think if I stand up, oh yeah. Oh, I can see how that would be effective. I can see what I'm going to be doing after my last class. There's another card here, lost and sold. Your loss is their gain. Mondays at 10, premieres September 2nd on Slice TV. Thank you for all you do, Kathleen, aka Miss Hollywood. Thank you, Kathleen, Miss Hollywood. Look at that. And that is Lost and Sold. Check that out. Right there. Thanks, guys. You guys are awesome. As always remember, eat healthy, train hard, most especially have fun. If you want to be a part of the Relentless Warrior team, I left that in a link below. Click on the website, check it out, sign up. It's sign up for free now. And just all you need is your email. And let's keep the fitness going. Let's keep the fun going. Let's keep the community going. And let's keep spreading the good news. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your questions. Next week, I'm going to talk about nutrition that will help your levels and strength and fitness. And I also want to see how the fitness is going for you guys. If you're a beginner, next week, if you're a beginner, you guys are the ones I'm going to try to target, so make sure you join in. Feel free to let me know what your complaints are. Let me know what some of your struggles are, and we'll definitely talk about that. So thanks a lot, guys. Always remember, eat healthy, train hard, most especially have fun. I think I said that. What's wrong? Let me just say it twice. Big deal. I'm Relentless Jake. You remember to stay focused, stay dedicated, and I'll see your beautiful faces next time. Same place, same channel. And I'm out. Boom! And I'm going to take this, and I have a couple of hours, and we're going to get a little foot massage. All right, guys, take care.